Two of my NBC News colleagues are on the ground in Michigan reporting on the president's visit. That's senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez. He's outside the plant in Wayne, Michigan, I should say, that President Biden visited. And Maggie Vespa is with striking workers in Centerline, Michigan, and will also be joined by senior political editor Mark Murray. So, Gabe, let's go to you first. As we showed at the top, poll numbers not really great for Biden and the Democratic Party on 2024. How's the White House handling economic outreach to the working class? And what did we see today as Biden visited the picket line?
Well, Ryan, as you alluded to, this was a notable shift from the White House, which up until now has kept itself at a distance from these negotiations in Michigan. Now, I can tell you, I'm actually outside a Ford plant in Wayne County, not the same one that President Biden visited. He went to a GM plant nearby, but that scene was just incredible to see as he was standing shoulder to shoulder with those auto workers. As you mentioned, Ryan, the first time that a sitting president has joined the picket line in modern times. The president focusing on that message that since the auto industry, since these union members gave up so much during the recession in 2008, 2009 with the GM bankruptcy, and they went without pay increases and benefits for several years, that now those union members, and you can hear these cars and vehicles behind me honking in solidarity with these workers, the president is trying to make the argument that because these workers went without for so many years, they now deserve to share in the profits that corporate executives are now seeing. Let's take a listen at what UAW President Shawn Fain said just a short time ago, standing right next to the President of the United States. Take a listen.
Today, I just want to take a moment to stand with all of you, with our President, and say thank you to the President. Thank you, Mr. President, for coming. Thank you for coming to stand up with us in our generation's defining moment. And we know the President will do right by the working class. And when we do right by the working class, you can leave the rest to us, because we're going to take care of this business.
So the optics of all that, Ryan, the President of the United States with literally a bullhorn and also wearing a UAW hat, standing right next to those auto workers. And this all comes, of course, as former President Trump prepares to head to Michigan tomorrow. A source with his campaign telling me that the former president plans to aggressively court blue-collar workers as the 2024 presidential campaign heats up, Ryan.
Yeah, and Gabe, let's expand on that a little bit more. As you rightly point out, this is right before Trump comes there tomorrow night. Do we see President Biden starting to engage and counter the former president a little bit more?
Slowly but surely, yes. And with a recent fundraiser he held this week, the president has taken on Trump's, more directly. And then also he's planning to give this speech on Thursday in Arizona following the GOP primary debate on Wednesday, where he plans to talk about the threats to democracy. And there's every indication here that, he might talk about, if not former President Trump directly, what he sees as the threats from people like President Trump, whether it be, denying the results of the 2020 election and so forth. So expect President Biden to go after former President Trump more directly as in the coming weeks and months. And certainly the visuals that we saw today going directly here to Michigan to meet with auto workers just hours before the former president is expected here to try and do the same. Wow.
All right, Gabe Gutierrez, thank you for that. Let's now go to the other side of Michigan, Centerline, Michigan, where Maggie Vespa is standing by. Obviously, the workers that you were with, Maggie, did not see the president directly, but did his message resonate to where you are right now?
Oh, Ryan, it definitely did. I mean, the enormity of this, the historic nature of this is lost on no one. And they loved, in particular, his comment. I'm going to quote the president here, so I apologize in advance, saying that the union and the members have earned, quote, a hell of a lot more than they are being paid. I quoted that to someone here, and she went, amazing, amazing. And she said the world needs to hear that. The nation needs to hear that. And she said maybe if it comes from the president, in other words, if it comes from the top, people will listen and they will believe that. Here's some more of what we've been hearing from workers on the picket lines in the wake of this historic visit. Take a listen.
any president that puts their money where their mouth is. He said he'd walk the picket line, and he is. We've had other presidents in the past say if they're going on strike, they're going to put their tennis shoes on and walk the line with us, and they didn't. He definitely is doing his walking the walk and talking the talk.
What do you think of the magnitude of it? The White House is saying this is the first time this has ever happened, a sitting president joining a picket line.
Amazing. Amazing. He's from day one, he's went on record saying, welcome to back to the White House, UAW. He has been in our corner, and I appreciate everything he's doing.
And just to kind of put this in context, by the way, remember last week the White House was considering sending a team, basically top aides, including the acting labor secretary, here to Michigan to, the White House said, help with talks. They then nixed those plans after all three of the big three, GM, Ford, and Chrysler owner Stellantis, came back to the table, resumed talks with the union, saying that they could kind of do that job effectively from D.C., as they have been doing. At the time, people here really, frankly, didn't care that much. They told us about that planned visit and or the visit being canceled, just saying this was kind of between them and the big three. So we're hearing a real shift in tone. People here think the visit from the president is going to mean something, and it is, they hope, going to have an impact at the bargaining table. And that's even despite the fact that the big three have all put out statements saying that this is between them and the union, kind of leaving politics out of this. But people here, frankly, don't buy that. They think this will have a real impact and hopefully help move these stalled talks forward, Ryan.
Okay, Maggie, Vespa, thank you for that.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.